Hello and welcome new players and veterans to a brand new series where I provide a guide on all things Warframe. Based on my personal opinions and experience, of course. Warframe is an ever-progressing game with regular updates. There's no better time to start than now. Here's a quick look at the things that we get up to in Warframe. Cue the epic music.
Oh, yes.
Use or nothing. Anywho, back to the video. The first task you are assigned is choosing a Warframe and some weapons. So there are 3 Warframes to choose from: Excalibur, Mag, and Vault. Starting off with Excalibur and his passive. Excalibur deals 10% increased damage and attacks 10% faster when wielding swords. His first ability, called Slash Dash, dash between enemies while slashing with the Exalted Blade. Next up, we have Radial Blind. Emits a bright flash of light, blinding all enemies in a small radius for several seconds. Now, this ability is awesome for crowd control. As you can see, they are all stunned, and it also opens them up to finishes. Next up, Radial Javelin. Launches javelins towards enemies, dealing high damage and impaling them. Boom! Bye bye. And last but not least, Exalted Blade. Summon a sword of pure light and immense power. Once summoned, using a melee attack, shoots out projectiles. Alright, next Warframe, Mag, and a passive. Bullet jumping pulls in nearby items for easy collection. Waste of time, don't bother with that. First ability, Pull. Magnetic force pulls enemies towards you, stunning them and bringing them into melee range. Get over here. Next up we have Magnetize. Tap. Enclose a target in a magnetic field, ensnaring nearby enemies and dealing damage over time. Bullets and shards created from Polarize increase the damage, and then you get Hold, creates a magnetic field around Mag, absorbing damage. Now, as I said earlier, you can shoot into this or use your Polarize to increase the damage into that cone. And then you hold, that will absorb range attacks, and then you could also release it and boom. Third ability, Polarize, emits an energy pulse that depletes enemy shields and armor, creating shards which become deadly when mixed with Magnetize. Shields of allies touched by this pulse gets restored. As you can see, it sends out like a cone, and boom. Last ability, Crush, magnetize the bones of nearby enemies, causing them to collapse upon themselves. Boom. And the final Warframe, Vault, and his passive, Grounded Movement, generates an electrical charge building up 5 damage per meter that is unleashed with the next attack. As you can see in the top right corner, as he moves around, the counter ticks and climbs all the way up to 1000. His first ability is called Shocked, launches a shocking projectile. It stuns and deals high damage to a single target and chains damage to nearby enemies. Second is Speed, gain a brief boost of movement speed, which affects all allies in range. I used to love this ability. Still do. Speed. Third, Electric Shield. Vault deploys an obstacle of energy, providing cover in any situation. Now with the shield, you can place it down, you can pick it up, you can shoot through it for increased damage. Yeah, it's quite versatile. This charge is its fourth ability. Paralyze nearby hostiles with a damaging electric charge that also shocks approaching enemies. This is an awesome ability when you want to clear out a room of enemies. So, which Warframe should you choose? I personally say go for Excalibur. Now mind you, you can get all of these Warframes as you play throughout the game, but of the 3, Excalibur is the hardest to obtain. You gotta do some PvPing when you come over to this dude over here with the freaking pan on his head. I don't know why he wears that pan. PvP, level up, get standing, go to him, increase your standing. You gotta go all the way to the last rank. Then you can finally get Excalibur. You have to pay in blood indeed. Now on the other hand, Mag, which is the second easiest to obtain of the three, you gotta get at the Iliad boss, so you gotta kill him a few times. He drops the parts, systems, your optics and chassis, all that random dropping. But it's a lot quicker than doing the PvP farming. And then we have the easiest to get, which is Vault. You gotta come to the clan. Well, you gotta first get a clan. You come to the clan, go over there, and you get these parts. You get the blueprint, get the chassis, the systems, and your optics, blah blah blah. But you obviously gotta get the materials first to craft each of these parts, which you'll get as you play the game. So out of the three, he is by far the easiest to get. Alternatively, you could go to the store market and buy them each for 75 platinum. Platinum is the in-game currency that I'll talk more about in future videos. Please do not spend this, I will smack you. Now that we have the Warframes out of the way, we gotta choose some weapons. You get the primary weapons, melee weapons and secondary weapons. First up we have the melees with the Skarner going first. The Skarner is a single-handed sword with decent speed, decent range, decent damage. Then we have the bow. The bow is a polearm with a slightly bigger range than the Skarner, but a lot slower attack speed and less damage dealing. Then we have the secondary weapons with the Lato going first. The Lato is more of a hand cannon of sorts. Then we have the kunai. The kunai is your throwing blades, you know, Naruto, throw. These are silent. We then have the primary weapons with the Brayton going first. The Brayton is your automatic rifle. And last but not least, we have the Paris. The Paris is a silent bow. So you could also buy all of these weapons at the Warframe market. They're all costing credits. As you can see, you pay once up and you get the weapons right away. However, the Skarner, you need to buy the blueprint and then you need to craft it at the crafting station. Or you could spend the 75 platinum, 150 platinum, but I'll smack you. So, what do we choose? For the primary, I'd say go for the Brayton. It's excellent for crowds when you need to kill hordes of enemies ranged at a time. The secondary, I'd say go with the kunai. The kunai is a silent weapon. You do need a silent weapon at some missions, so that'll be great at range. And for the melee, I'd say go with Skarner, especially if you're choosing Excalibur, because as I've said earlier, with his passive, it increases his damage wielding swords. And that's it for the starter guide for all you new players considering Warframe. I had to start you guys out on the right foot. Stay tuned for future videos on Warframe guides such as making platinum, new Warframes, etc. etc. Cheers.